Following up on parallel and contrary motion is the idea of independence and interdependence of melodic lines. Let's take a look at invention number 8 in F major, starting at measure 4 in the top voice. We have imitation of a 16th note figure that's repeated in a lower octave a measure later. Standard canonic entrance? Yeah, but that's missing a part of the picture. These two lines, when taken together, form a harmonic unit. Measure 4 outlines an F major chord, measure 5 reinforces that, measure 6 changes the harmony to D minor, and measure 7 resolves it to a G7 chord. The interweaving of the parts here through imitation makes them interdependent in both melodically and in creating the harmony. Without one of the parts, it falls a little flat. Now let's look at measure 19 through 25. There's clearly imitation going on, with the idea being expressed first in the lower voice in measures 19 through 20, then in a transformed version in the upper voice in measures 21 through 23, before returning to a new transformation in the lower voice in measures 24 through 26. But what is the other voice doing while this is happening? Aside from measure 19, where the upper voice is filling in an implied C-sharp diminished 7th harmony through pedal point, they're all moving in a combination of parallel and contrary motion to the imitated voice. These lines are melodically independent. Either the top or the bottom voice can stand on its own and supply both melodic and harmonic support to the music through the measure. Interestingly, they then resolve to the imitation of the 16th note figure in the upper voice in measures 26 through 29, creating a B flat, G minor, C7 harmonic motion that prepares us for the final cadence at the end. Bach is resolving independence to interdependence as a way to move the piece towards the goal of the tonic chord in the final bar. As with parallel and contrary motion, this idea of independence and interdependence of voices is something that composers frequently swap. A part can be completely dependent on a second part in one moment, then function completely independently in the next. This shifting of roles is what helps to make music interesting. No one part dominates the piece. Instead, they trade roles, taking on the same role or sometimes function completely independently, creating contrast and interest through the course of a piece.